Why is it that people are acting like this is nothing? This is probably the only time I would ever defend Reddit moderators. Come on, let me in, let me in, let me in. That's actually grotesque to me. That is actually a very grotesque thing to say to someone. The only reason you wouldn't want this particular screenshot here leaked is because it looks bad for Esfand because he looks like a little bitch. I've got to be honest with you. I think there's a lot of kind of minimizing and downplaying going on to obfuscate, you know, what this actually looks like and what it is, okay? So, I guess I'll start by asking a question because, you know, I was a bit kind of uncertain about this. Do you guys know that there, at the very least was, and probably still is, a private Discord channel that exists where streamers have like backwards and forwards discussions with moderators? Like, before this came out, you might have guessed or maybe thought that maybe, but did you know it actually existed and was a thing? I feel like people are acting like, you know, oh, everyone knew about this. And I'm like, I don't think people do know about this that much. I think people know, like, have got an insight or a guess. But yeah, I think that people are acting like these leaks, everyone knew about this going on already. And I just think that's total coke, personally. Well, skeptical, exactly. I presume that there was more of it going, you know, maybe some DMs or something. But, you know, a whole private channel dedicated to this discussion is kind of crazy to me. People that live on LSF, maybe. Funny you say that. Anyway, let me show you. So this is what was leaked. I've got these images here, and we'll just go over them. So it is worth pointing out. It is worth pointing out before we get into this that these messages are from an old Discord, which I believe it is no longer associated with livestream fails. Okay, I actually joined that Discord. I actually joined that old Discord, and apparently there's a new server that you can join, but you need to ask one of the Reddit moderators for the access code. So that's another thing that I've thought about this too, is like it's a bit weird to me that we're acting like this is something that's widely known, but you need to like go and ask a moderator for a link. It's not just a link that you can kind of join, you know? But anyway, let's get into this. So, like I say, from what I understand, these messages are from this, I mean, they're from different periods. I've got like one, I think, from 2020, one from 2022. There's potentially others to be leaked, maybe. I don't know, but let's just look at these and see what they say. So this is on the 15th of January, 2022. So it's got a link here to this. Mizkif pronounced Emaru as Maya. Mizkif messages and says, Discord's brigading. Please, anything, stop this. Hi, Mizkif. Can you be more specific? Which Discords are brigading the thread? Can you give us the typical comment or some information about them to confirm if it's a coordinated attack on the thread? We need this information so we can know exactly what we're dealing with to help you better. So one thing I just want to make clear as well in this, having looked at all of this, I'm actually quite impressed with like the moderators, whoever these moderators are in this. From what I understand, a lot of them have left now, so I don't know if they're still part of the moderation team. But at the very least, it's good to see that moderators are actually, you know, pushing back against some of these requests. But I think it's pretty clear what's happening here, okay? I think these screenshots paint a pretty clear image of streamers attempting to use their influence to get moderators to do what they want to do, basically, you know? A thread that they don't like, that is criticizing them, or something like that, okay? Yeah, these are from the Twitter thread, yeah. You know, these aren't really legitimate requests. These aren't really legitimate requests to ban, right? Because, you know, obviously there's going to be some circumstances where it's totally appropriate that you might want to get a moderator to look at something. But the examples here, obviously, I don't think fall into that category whatsoever. But yeah. Anyway. And then Mizkif says, bro, a fucking Discord. E-Rob Daily made it. Like, it's literally 1,000 people obsessed with me and Emmy. Why do I need to be so specific? Can't you fucking trust me? Do you need an invite to the Discord? Do you need 1,000 things done? I don't get it. It's a fucking shit thread. Just remove it. Why is it that people are acting like this is nothing? People are out there going, oh no, this has been known about for ages. Everyone knows about this Discord actually. Like, no, this is like pretty fucking damning shit. It's showing very clearly that these streamers are trying to use their influence to pressure moderators to remove threads from LSF, which is exactly what people have been fucking talking about. So yeah, I don't know. I just think that the one saving grace in this, the one saving grace, I think, in all of this is just seeing the moderators push back so strongly. Okay, that gives me some faith and hope. You know, and this is probably the only time I would ever defend Reddit moderators. Okay, Reddit moderators. Oh, Louis, it's happening already. A year and a half ago. Who cares? Good question. So let me ask you this: Am I to believe that a year and a half ago these kind of requests are happening? Okay. And as time has gone on, as these streamers and these organizations they're associated with have become bigger and more powerful, I'm to believe that they're not doing this any longer. I'm to believe that actually this problem is now resolved and there aren't still streamers out there that are doing this sort of thing. Yes, good one. I'm sure that's true. I'm sure that they've gone, actually, do you know what? I'm not going to bother even asking anymore. That seems very likely to me. I mean, come on, let's be fucking real, okay? Obviously, we don't know, okay? I'm trying to get fucking access to this Discord. I'm a streamer and I'm hated on LSF, so I probably am due some right for access to this, surely, because, you know, I'm the one that's fucking in that list of people that are hated on LSF. What about me? What about me? Come on, let me in. Let me in. Let me in. Anyway, let's continue on, okay? Let's try and get through these messages. Hi, Miz. Based on our rules, we cannot remove this thread as it doesn't break any. If they're manipulating the votes, and that's the whole thing. Also, at least me personally didn't know, and I'm sure most of our mods, about this Discord server. If you can link it, that'd be great. Also, please don't curse at us. We're just trying to help. Question marks. You want to find the link to a hate watching Discord? I Love Apples disagrees with you. Yeah, I know. I had a big fucking argument with them on my Discord earlier. They're some fucking cringe Reddit power user. They were very frustrated with my takes, but we hashed it out. And I was correct, obviously. Anyway, you want to find a link to Hate Watch Discord? Lol, okay, be right back. Like, man, I'm getting close to just getting banned and making a new LSF. If you were looking for an image, it was probably deleted. Like, you want fucking pictures. What the fuck do you want? This is the guy in charge. Can you please fucking help me? You want to hear about that? Basically, there was a guy that was like posting screenshots of what I was saying in my Discord, and people were saying, oh, here's the guy's karma. He's got like 150,000 karma or some shit. And they added them in the server. I was like, is this the guy? Yeah, that's the guy. So I added him and said, come on stream and talk to me then. But we just ended up hashing it out. And basically what he was trying to argue is that this was widespread knowledge. Like this channel was widespread knowledge. That's essentially what they were trying to argue. And I'm thinking, it's not though. I don't think that loads of people know that there's this private Discord channel in the LSF fucking Discord where streamers talk backwards and forwards with mods. I don't think that's widely known. I don't think that's public knowledge. Like, for example, one thing that's said is that, oh, but they did a stream about this and they spoke about it. They spoke about it on Dr. K's stream, right? And I'm like, okay. Let's have a look at that clip. Let's have a little look at the clip.
If any streamers are watching this and or reacting to it or doing whatever, and you've made it to this far towards the end, please, 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 if you have any issues at all, do not be afraid to reach out to us. We're a great team. We'll help you wherever we can. We may disagree on stuff, but please reach out to us. If any...
Yeah, I think this is the old team. So to me, listening to that clip, I'm thinking that sounds like they're saying like, DM us, right? If you've got a problem, DM us. Like, I don't think this is saying, come and join the Discord. We've got a private channel where you can interact with us backwards and forwards. Like, I don't know, man. People are acting like everyone knew about this shit. And I'm thinking, did they really? I've never heard of it. I, assumed there was some sort of communication happening. Maybe there was rumors or something, but I don't think that this is like a widespread, well-known thing that you can go into a Discord and find a private channel where you can have backwards and forwards conversations with moderators. Like, it's complete cope. It's complete cope from people that want to act like, oh, actually, no, everyone knew about this and everything's tickety-boo, guys. Everything's fine. Everything's great. Like, no, obviously not. Why is this worth caring about? I mean, I'm not asking you to care about anything. If you look at this, you think, I don't really care about this, that's fine. The reason I think that I'm interested in talking about this, okay, is because LSF, love it or hate it, is kind of a central point of conversation and discourse in the streamer community, right? I mean, look, for example, at the fact, like these new platforms that are coming through like Kick, they're getting integrated into the LSF ecosystem. Their clips are getting added to LSF. It is like gone beyond what it maybe was originally was about. And there's this kind of, I mean, YouTube clips are on there too, but it's this kind of all-encompassing central point where lots of people come together to post and talk about different streamers, different drama and stuff like that, right? So if there's a situation where certain users, particularly big streamers, are able to be in a position to use their status to push for moderator decisions to be made, that's kind of a big deal. That's kind of a big deal to me. And like I say, in looking at this, I've not really seen any behavior from the mods that I would be critical of, because the mods in every instance are seemingly pushing back against this, right? But the fact that these streamers are out here in a Discord channel that is not widely known about, having these conversations, I think that's kind of a big deal if you're interested in like how LSF works and how LSF operates and how these streamers operate too, and how these big streamers operate. What's the difference between a big streamer DMing a moderator and asking it in a Discord? But you're downplaying it. But you're massively downplaying it again, because it's not just asking in a Discord, okay? It's a private, cornered off section of the Discord where you have to have a VIP role in order to be in that channel, okay? And you can have a backwards and forwards interaction with moderators where other streamers can also see it and interact, right? Do you not see how that's like massively different to what you're saying? It's not just asking in a Discord, is it, right? And there's a big difference between you, privately, yourself, reaching out to a mod and saying, oh, hey, I've got some problems, can you help me out with this? Versus an entire channel dedicated to it with specific people that have got authority to be in there to engage with the moderators in that way. Like, this is like so simple to me. This is so simple and so straightforward. And what people are doing is they're focusing on like elements of this which are obviously totally fine. Like, there's obviously elements of this which are not really a problem, right? But the overall issue, I think, is quite obvious if you're honest with yourself, okay? And you're not a complete fucking, dick rider of big streamers. Yeah, exactly. It's like an inner circle. Yes, exactly that. Like, that's quite a good way of describing it, isn't it? And then the other thing that bothers me, and this is what I was arguing with this fucking Reddit person about, is the idea that this is all known. Is the idea that these dynamics are all everyone knows all about it. Like, I just do not believe that it was widely known that there was a private Discord channel in the LSF server where there was backwards and forwards conversation between big streamers and moderators. I do not believe that that is a widely known fact. And I think that whilst people might have had some insight or something like that, they didn't know, first of all, that it existed, absolutely. And secondly, again, they might have guessed this, but I do not believe that they knew the kinds of interactions that were happening. They couldn't prove the kind of interactions that were happening. But now we've got proof very clearly that absolutely streamers have been trying to use their influence to make moderators make decisions about things. And it's obvious. Anyway, this clip just shows that, yeah, the LSF mods have said previously, if you've got a problem, reach out to us. Fine, I agree, that probably happened. That did happen, right? But the extent to which they've set up this system, I don't think it's clear at all. Anyway, what else have we got? Thank you. That next time I'll be nicer. Sorry about that. Mizkif gives his mate's family $10,000. For the love of God, people shitting on me for donating money. Can we please just remove this one thread for the holidays? Like it's crazy just me trying to make others happy turns into a fucking hate thread. Nothing to see here, guys. How far away this message is? This is on the 16th of November and this is on the 20th of December. Well, I mean, you say, why don't my hate threads get removed? Again, I just want to make it clear in all of this, okay? Because normally I would be happy to meme on the Reddit Jannies, okay? The Reddit Jannies in these threads, I can't see in all of them, have been pretty reasonable at pushing back and disagreeing. So it's to the credit. These screenshots are actually a credit to the moderators because they show that they were resisting these obvious and explicit attempts to solicit a reaction out of them by using their influence. So I think that's actually a credit to the moderation team, okay? And that's the problem I've got now, is I believe largely this moderation team is now gone. So the question I would ask is, what's replaced this? Because the Discord this was associated with is no longer associated with the LSF. I'm told there's a new one, okay? I went to the old one and asked. I'm told that I can just message a moderator and I should be able to get a link, okay? Right? So we'll follow that up and see how far we get. But nonetheless, I just think that, you know, there's definitely an issue with this. What else have we got? Oh, that's the wrong one. What's this? Wait, 18th of December 2021, 3:53. Oh, let's look at these ones first. So these ones are particularly cringe, I feel. Same thing happened to Melina when there were 20k upvoted thread about cross-banning, which she's 100% within her right to do. I just find it quite interesting that yesterday you all seem very sympathetic about harassment because you all endured it, but still allow things like this to happen. The problem is we can't just ban criticism of people. See, this is based. This is unironically absolutely based from whoever this moderator is, which obviously is censored. I'm like soying out at the Reddit mods right now, okay? This is actually good to see them say things like this. And I hope that now it's continued like this, but obviously I can't confirm one way or another what it looks like now, okay? And the other thing to bear in mind with this, I think, is what do these kinds of channels look like, or whatever the communication tools are now? What do they look like when there's some big drama happening? What do they look like when, like, the Mizkif situation is popping off, for example? I would love to see what these channels look like when those dramas were happening, you know, because I reckon that there was absolutely a lot more of this going on. And especially with things being so hectic, I would guess that there were probably situations where threads were taken down where they probably shouldn't have been. Because I remember there were situations where I saw like threads of my clips or other clips getting taken down, and it just seemed completely bullshit. It just seemed like total nonsense. Like, you know, people were like out here going like, oh, well, you broke this rule here, actually. Rule 1.7-375, you broke that rule. And I'm thinking, well, there's another post that breaks that's up. You know, none of this is going to go on LSF, okay? I doubt it will go on LSF. I don't want to be absolute. Maybe it will. But I would reckon if it does, it will probably get removed under the clause of like, you cannot talk about LSF in LSF clips that get posted, despite the fact that there's you know, every couple of weeks probably, there's a post that goes up that references LSF in the title that is about LSF that remains up because it's like a big streamer or something like that, you know? It's selective enforcement. It's selective enforcement, yeah. Anyway, I don't know, man. I just think that there's definitely some stuff here that's worth being aware of. Exactly, but this is the point, right? So we're saying they're selective with their enforcement, right? We're selective with their enforcement. And then we've got evidence now that at least previously, hard evidence, that streamers have been going to moderators to use manipulative social and emotional strategies to try and get moderators to do stuff, which I'll show you an example of in a sec. So has that stopped? I doubt it. I'd guess it's gotten worse. Like, I don't know for sure, but yeah, all I'm saying is I'd love to see some of these threads to see what's going on. Whether or not I get in, obviously, is a different matter. But there again, if I'm not able to get access to this, okay, I mean, that does prove something, doesn't it? Because there's a document that exists that shows that I'm one of the most hated people on LSF. So I am one of the people that is, you know, probably pretty deserving of this kind of service because I'm despised on LSF. Let me in! Let me in, guys! I can't take any of the Keemstar comments anymore, please! You need to let me in so I can help protect myself. Let me in! Anyway, let's continue on, okay? By the way, just to be clear as well, okay? Just to be clear as well, the only exception to this would be if, like, a picture of my kids got posted or something like that somehow, okay? There's obviously some pretty obvious exceptions to this. Like, if I saw a picture of my kids get posted, I mean, I would DM a moderator rather than do anything else. But, you know, I would, you know, obviously act pretty quickly on that, right? But I have never and will never go to these kind of places and try and use what little influence I've got now or whatever influence I get in the future. But I would never want to use that to try and influence like moderation decisions, you know? I would just want moderators to moderate how they see fit based on their own rules and analysis. And then if I'm not happy with it, you know, I can just talk about it publicly, you know? This idea that you can be in this private channel and you can apply this pressure and I don't know, man, it's just kind of very dicey to me. I don't like it. I don't like this kind of stuff. I don't like this kind of stuff, man. And you'll see some of these messages are pretty dicey, I'd say. Anyway, let's continue. The problem is we can't just ban criticism of people. Anything negative about someone equals ban isn't a system that works outside of person's Twitch channel. We do our best to police what happens on our platforms in comments. I just find it quite ironic and lessens my sympathy for you all. What happens outside those areas isn't under our control. You make the rules, you all can do what you please. That's fine, we aren't asking for sympathy, for your sympathy. Sounded like you were yesterday. Just saying, guys, it's going to take the right case of the right person killing themselves and the finger might come back to you. Like, that's actually grotesque to me. That is actually a very grotesque thing to say to someone. You know, you're weaponizing the potential of someone's suicide to get someone to do what you want to do. That's crazy to me. That is so manipulative. It's like emotional manipulation, you know? Well, listen, guys, all I'm saying is all it takes is one person killing themselves and all of a sudden the finger's pointing at you. It's just so pathetic, man. So yeah, I just think this is the kind of stuff. So what's going to happen with this is, you know, the meat sleeves of the big streamers and the people, you know, that ride all these people, all these platforms, all these people, all these organizations, they're going to downplay it, okay? They're going to downplay it. They're going to act like, oh no, nothing's happening here. Nothing to see here, guys. Nothing, guys. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here, guys. Nothing to worry about, okay? Oh, you're talking about this. This is year-old's drama, guys. Everyone knows about this already. Why even talking about this? Is this even news? And it's like, I'm sat here with the viewers that I've got sharing this stuff, and people are going, what? That's crazy. No, nothing to see here, guys. Don't worry about it. Old news, old news, old news. Everyone knows about this already. Don't worry about it. Like, dude, look, I'm not saying this guy, you know, I'm not making any big claims about what should happen to this guy. But what I'm saying is, this is pretty grotesque behavior from this person, where they're like, you know, applying this social manipulative pressure to someone to get them to do something. And I don't think an LSF moderator has any responsibility whatsoever if a streamer kills themselves. That is a hard line for me. I just think that's an insane principle or standard to have, you know? On the basis of how they moderate this subreddit. Like, no, that's bullshit, man. Right, what's this? Okay. Gets worse, guys. It gets worse. We shared our stories to let you know what we're aware of what happens. Our FBI friends have found people pretty easy online just from a username. What did he mean by that? What does he mean by that, I wonder? What does he mean by that? Jesus, man. I mean, look, to me, what it reads like to me is he's trying to put the fear of God into him personally. You know, he's directly talking to him saying, you know, got FBI friends who can find people from a username. He's also laying it on thick saying that, like, you know, you would potentially due some responsibility if someone kills themselves. Anyway. Nothing to see though, guys. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here, guys. Okay. So I'm told by people whose entire feed is retweeting OTK stuff. I'm told by people like that there's nothing to see. So I guess that's true. I guess that's true, isn't it? Anyway. Not to try and garner any support or sympathy. So then obviously he sees this message and he goes, all right, this conversation is over. Not going to let you threaten our team. Goodbye. And then I guess this is the follow-on. If you weren't aware of that being a possibility already, I'm just giving you a heads up because eventually something might happen. Right, so Nmplol is trying to play it off as, oh, actually, I'm just saying that, like, you know, the finger might come back to you, and then saying the FBI thing is kind of related to that, I guess, right? Like, something could happen and you're found out, you know, nothing to do with me, but I'm just letting you know. God, man, it's so pathetic. At least own what you're saying, man. At least own it. First off, that's completely insane. No matter what happens, we're not culpable. Yes, I agree with this. How can you argue that the way someone moderates a subreddit would be responsible for their death? There's potentially an extreme scenario which you might be able to argue, but even then, it's a subreddit which you can switch off, which you can stop looking at any point. You know? Like, it's crazy to me that people are so desperate for LSF to moderate along certain lines. On the basis of an optional thing which you can just stop looking at. First, yeah. Anyway, all right if you think so. Bye, Nick. Sorry it had to end this way. You are so dramatic. I see why you set yourself up to endure this LSF abuse. Need some sort of power in your life. Good luck, good luck. I love the fact that this person is saying that to them when they have just spent in the last screenshot this time trying to, like, use his influence to socially, like, manipulate them. And to, like, emotionally manipulate them. And then they're like, you need some sort of power in your life. Like, says you. Says you. Crazy, man. Anyway, let me ask you this, guys. Okay, let me ask you this. Have you ever seen these before? Has anyone in chat seen these messages before? These are new leaks, right? These are new. These haven't been seen before, from what I understand. Well, you know, obviously, yeah, you obviously saw them on other streams, but I mean, before, like when they came out yesterday. Okay, okay, good. Okay, and then there's another one here. Oh no, that's it. Oh, there's another one we're going to look at as well. Okay, there's another one we're going to look at too. So there was actually something that happened, which, you know, I posted about yesterday. Someone linked this in my Discord and I posted about it. Again, I was told that everyone knew about this, but from what I can tell, this has kind of been like a bit kind of swept under the rug, I think, this happening. Who's seen this before in chat? Who's seen this before? I believe it's from 2020, I think. I think it's from 2020. Anyway, this is the channel. This is the channel, okay? Where did I get this from? What Autism Takes? You're supposed to be the LSF autist. I thought you'd know about this. No, this is someone posted it in my Discord yesterday. Someone posted it in my Discord yesterday. And it's the first image that I shared because it's the first thing that I saw. Anyway, this is the live stream fail Discord, and this is the channel where you've got like the VIPs. So you've got Esfand there, Greek God X. I believe that's Richard Lewis. You got Mizkif. Oh, you can't see Mizkif. Mizkif there. Okay. And it says, you know, private, confidential, direct line of communication with the subreddit moderators. Please do not leak anything in here. So, you know, that's what we're dealing with here. Apparently, this is widely known about, though. Apparently, this is widely known. I'm told on good authority that this is widely known. Apparently, so you know, maybe that is total bullshit after all. Anyway, so what does it say? Let's read through these. Esfand, I'll let you guys know if he tries to do more weird shit. Really appreciate the support. Okay. And then we got Shro, hey, can we delete this thread? People literally trying to make drama over someone who doesn't even stream in my guild, who are clipping something totally out of context. The guy is obviously just trying to make drama, especially when he already had a mirror ready when I deleted the clip. Oh my god! Unbelievable! Anyway, I was reading through the thread. It's so cringy. And attacking someone in my guild for stupid shit they don't even understand. It's bad enough as a... And the camera blocks it off. Used to getting that attention and then literally hundreds of comments about them that aren't even fair. It's a really bad feeling. At subreddit moderators. Crow says, let me get with the other moderators real quick and get an answer for you. And again, okay, this is the most praise I'm ever going to give Reddit moderators, okay? The Reddit moderators are actually very good in this, okay? Like, they're pushing back. They're not just accepting it. Like, praise to the Reddit moderators of this era that are engaging in this conversation, okay? Johnny's based for once. So this moderator says the following. Hey, we've had a look at the thread and we believe there is no issue with the thread itself, although I can see some comments which I think, and it cuts off, way, could you link some more of these comments which you feel are misinformation, harassment, etc.? And then obviously, you know, we're not going to see the rest of it. We're not going to see the rest of it. But yeah. And I believe these are from 2020. Oh yeah, you can see here, look, December 23rd, 2020. So yeah, it's 2020. Yeah, it's old. It's old. So these are all like older messages and stuff. I think the earliest is 2020. The latest we looked at was January 2022. Okay. Please do not leak anything in there. I mean, that's the other cope that I've seen about this is people are going, oh yeah, well, you couldn't leak stuff because what about Doxx stuff? What if you're saying Doxx stuff? Yeah, obviously, if there's Doxx stuff, I understand people not wanting that leaked, but people wouldn't want this leaked. Why wouldn't you want this leaked? There's no fucking Doxx information in there. The only reason you wouldn't want this particular screenshot here leaked is because it looks bad for Esfand because he looks like a little bitch. Do you know what I mean? It's like, there's no good reason for this to be private, right? I'm sure there are examples of people asking for more private stuff to get taken down. But like, this is just unbelievable that people are acting like these sorts of screenshots are like, you know, I should have a reasonable expectation of privacy. It's crazy. But yeah, I don't know, man. I just think for me, if you are I just personally think these kind of like under the table conversations and, you know, discrete Discord channels that, you know, people claim exist, right? But I don't think really truly it's widely known they exist. Definitely there's a level of discretion happening with these sort of interactions and these sort of channels. I think if you're going to do it, you should just have it focused purely on things that are actually life and death or legal, like doxing or something like that, right? Personally, you can just use DMs and stuff like that. I just feel like these sorts of kind of conversations just lend themselves to trending towards this kind of behavior rather than actually being a good way of dealing with the issues that you're trying to deal with, you know? And one of the problems that we've got in all of this, obviously, is that these are old messages, okay? And I can't confirm for sure either way whether this kind of behavior has gotten better, i.e. streamers have stopped engaging in this, or maybe there aren't means with which these communications can be made, or they've got worse. But like, what do you think? You know what I mean? That's the thing about this. Like, I've got my own opinion on it. I can't prove it one way or another. But like, do you think that streamers now are like, do you know what? We're not going to do that anymore, okay? We're going to let the mod team decide what to mod, and we'll only intervene in cases of extreme circumstances. Oh, thank you. I forgot. I missed one. 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 God, the people that are downplaying this are honestly fucking sickening to me. They're honestly sickening to me. It's like, dude, these are the biggest, most successful, most popular streamers that are associated with the biggest, most successful, most powerful, most wealthy organizations in the industry. And you're sat here fucking defending them. It's honestly pathetic to me. Right, what's this? This is like politicians having a back channel with CNN and Fox News. The thing is, it sounds ridiculous because it's Reddit, okay? And that sounds very lofty. But I do think there's definitely a criticism here, which is very obvious, which is that if there's a platform which is reporting on and talking about potential bad things streamers are doing or bad things they get into, mistakes they make on stream or whatever the case may be, and the biggest, most powerful streamers have got these direct lines of communication behind the scenes in private Discord channels, yeah, that gets to be a bit like, that's not, I think we need a bit more transparency about this, you know? As if politicians don't. Anyway, let's read these messages too. We take everything seriously. Bruh, I got people coming to my house, calling me the N-word IRL and throwing shit at me. By the way, this is behavior that I think is indicative of one of the narratives that's trying to be perpetuated about this, okay? So people are using like potentially legitimate issues and criticisms and complaints, but they're using it to justify the entirety of it, right? Because yeah, obviously, if you've got people coming to your house and stuff, anything that can prevent that is good. but then they're using that to argue that like they should do what they want to get threads that are just embarrassing or threads where someone's being criticized removed. You know, they're not asked like. I'm sure there's examples that exist, but the threads that we're looking at, it's not as if it's like people are posting their address and they're going, oh, please, can you move this? It's got our address on. And the mods are like, sorry, nothing I can do to help, you know? It's them asking for threads to be removed, which are breaking no rules. No rules are being broken, as the moderators themselves are saying, you know? Anyway, let's keep moving through this. Yeah, that's super fucked up. And same thing you get my mods get as well, Oro especially. I don't think anyone sane is ever going to side with people doxing, swatting, etc. Yes, exactly. No one looking at this is going to go, well, if you're getting doxed and getting swatted, you should just put up with it. I think everyone would agree that it's totally reasonable that you have some additional way of communicating if it's life or death. Because LSF is like a pop... You know, it's like on social media, normal social media, right? Sometimes there's like departments you can speak to if like if a nude like this is the Hunter Biden thing. Remember the Hunter Biden thing? There were requests made because Hunter Biden's nude images were being posted, and I think I think the DNC requested to take it down, and people were mad about it. But it's like, no, it's totally reasonable that if there was something extreme happening, you would have some way of communicating that to get it removed swiftly. Okay, but you know, no one disagrees with that. But the requests that we're looking at are not to do with that. They're just you trying to use your influence to get the mod to do something you want to happen, you know? Anyway, all I'm saying is that you saying you all really don't know how some of those threads affect some of us mental. We fully understand it. We understand that shit, though. You volunteer for this job, bro. We have to do this. Or it's Wendy's. No, you don't. You literally don't. What? You don't. I must be a streamer, guys. It's the only option. Guys, if I can't be a streamer, I'm gonna have to work a shitty job. It's my only choice. Okay, so please, can you delete this thread where they're making fun of me because I don't like it? Okay. Honestly, it is unreal. It is unreal. Look, I'm very sympathetic to the plight of the streamer, okay? Being a streamer myself. However, I just find it very galling when people are sat here acting like they must do this and therefore they should be protected from the negative ramifications of choosing to do this job, you know? Like, look, doing this is great. It's got its downsides, and you've got to weigh up whether the downsides are worth the upsides, okay? Most of these people are millionaires. They're fucking millionaires at this point. So I'm pretty sure they've made their decision, okay? But guess what? Putting yourself out there, being a public figure, yes, you should be protected from doxing. You should be protected from people coming to your house and calling you slurs. But I don't think that you can be protected on a platform that is designed for that purpose of people posting clips of you, criticizing you, mocking you, etc. Okay? I embrace it, guys. I embrace my future. Okay? This is just to mentally prepare me for my future. Anyway, let's continue on. And then question marks, you get paid to do this job, and then something blocked out here. Nick, I'm sorry, dude. That's a terrible take. I'm not saying it's okay, but nothing is stopping you from walking away right now. Personally, my whole life changes, got to go back to school, etc. It's not the same thing. I mean, yeah, anything you do to earn a living is going to have downsides. And if the downsides of that exceed the upsides, you need to change your life. Yes, that is how any job works. There's people that work normal jobs, okay, and they realize that there's negative things that happen with it they don't like, so they have to change things. That's fucking life. That's just life, okay? And guess what? These poor people that are working some shitty job, that are desperately trying to get out of it because they don't like it, okay, that are making upheavals to their life, don't have a ton of money in their bank like you fucking do. Like, it is entitled. It's so fucking entitled. It's so entitled to me. Look, I get annoyed with you guys when you're like, I'll say like, oh, I'm a bit burnt out, and you're like, what are you even burnt out about? You don't do anything all day. Da, da. I find that a bit annoying, okay? Sure. But I also am realistic, and I recognize that if I genuinely didn't want to do this anymore, I would go and have to get a normal job, okay? And that would be that. And I just decide to do it because the downsides don't outweigh the upsides, And the thing is obviously I think about this, right? Obviously there are benefits to going and working in an office somewhere, right? But up until now, for now, the benefits outweigh the downsides. But these people are acting like a very common activity and behavior that most people engage in their life. Oh, I'm not really happy because of the downsides of my current work situation. It's going to be tough, but I'm going to have to change it. Anyway, I'm not saying it's okay, you'll deal with this stuff, just like my mods, but no, it's not the same thing as what I deal with. Personally, to us, it feels worse that we have to deal with bad shit too, and we don't even get compensated for it. Now, normally, I would get in a cheap jab about Reddit moderators, okay? Normally, I'd be all up for having a go at the Jannies. However, in this particular case, like, I think it's pretty evident in this interaction who I would consider to be, like, the worst person, But yeah. It just seems so obvious to me what these screenshots demonstrate and what they're showing. And all of the responses to it are totally lackluster. I haven't seen anything that would kind of make me change my view on this. I think that just because they're old, yeah, sure, this was happening a couple of years ago. I do not believe, I think you're absolutely coping if you're going to sit there and act like this isn't happening now, okay? Like, it's very likely these kind of interactions are continuing to happen. And I would wager that it probably is worse nowadays. And I would also wager, this is the old moderation team. Apparently new moderators are now in place at LSF. I would wager that they probably acquiesce to the demands of these bigger streamers more than they used to. That's my guess. That is a guess. But without having proof, that's all I've got. So, yeah. Yeah, anyway, there we go. That's the leaks.
So Emerald like leaked some like DMs with her and Mizkif on stream, saying like you literally lift your legs like a cheerleader multiple times, and like I don't know, Mizkif was like saying shit like this. Then Emerald's like, I generally don't think of things like that as a sexual when I'm doing it, especially since I'm wearing pajama pants, but I'll stop. And then Mizkif goes on to say like, heard that 1,000 times, so done with this. I don't believe you at all. I'm not trying to attract to weird people. I'm sorry, bullshit. I don't think of things the same way.
Why did this get taken down then? What rule did this one break exactly? Can anyone tell me? See, it's things like this now that you look at and you go, was this the product of some under the table communication? Was this like the product of some, oh, God, this thread's really terrible. Can you take it down? I don't know, man. It's pretty fucking suspicious with all this extra context we got now. So the other thing I've heard is apparently this Discord thing was announced in this post about the LSF thing. Basically, let me tell you what's happening, okay? People are saying this is old news. Everyone knew about this, okay? I think that some people knew that it was, suggested that if you're a streamer and you've got an issue, you should reach out to the LSF moderation team by some fashion, okay? I do not think it has ever been widely known, common knowledge, absolutely, that there was a private Discord channel that existed, okay? I think there might have been speculation, maybe people had some insight into it, but I don't think it's widely known that there was a private Discord channel that you could join, okay? And if something like that exists now, where is it listed? How do I know about that as a streamer, I mean, look, I don't honestly, I'm not saying, I'm saying it to prove a point. I don't care about this. I'm not trying to get into your little fucking secret club, okay? But genuinely, I am someone, okay? I am someone. It's private. Well, that's the problem, isn't it? But that's the problem then, isn't it? Yes, that's what I'm saying. Oh my God. People are saying it's not, and everyone knows about it. Anyway, the point I'm making is, like if I only know about the existence of this now because it's being spoken about, right? And I'm thinking, you know, I'm like, well, I'm very hated on LSF. You know, it'd be nice to have, you know, more communication with the mods if I get talked about. Not that I'm going to do it. I genuinely think it's cringe to try and like influence the mod of another platform to do something off the basis of a concern you've got, unless it's something serious. But anyway, you know, but I just don't think there's any sort of public information about it. I messaged the Discord about it.
Welcome to Chud Nation.
The old Discord. I messaged the old Discord about it. Is there a new version of this server that is officially associated with the subreddit? Invite only as far as I know for streamers and mods. Okay, I'm a streamer. Any idea where I could get it? Best to send them on one mail. As someone who is been mentioned in a document as one of the most hated people on LSF, I'm sure that I'll be welcomed in. I'm sure I'll be welcomed in, okay? I'm not peer pressuring the mods, it's just if this is genuinely just a tool with which you can communicate with mods, if this is genuinely a tool with which you can communicate with mods, if there's issue with the subreddit, then, you know, why shouldn't I be allowed in? I mean, look, I'm not being funny, am I? Like, this is all genuine. I'm not, you know, I mentioned in some document about having all these hate comments about me. Let me in! Let me in! I've been saying this from the start. Let me in! Anyway, let's continue on, okay? Let's continue on. So, live stream fails State of the Union. Now, this post here apparently references this, but from what I can tell, I think it only references the fact that a Discord does exist, and it talks about messaging a moderator. So, you know, this seems to be more about, like, DMs to moderators. I have not found any comments that, I mean, I've not, you know, spent all morning looking. Obviously, I've been busy with other stuff. But, you know, I wouldn't let you in, you leak everything immediately. But wait a second. Wait a second. But then you're accepting that there is a tiered system and that, you know, I'm not allowed in, even though I'm one of the most hated people on LSF. Well, then you're admitting there's a tiered system and that for some reason, I'm not allowed in, but a big streamer is. I don't know, we'll see. Listen, I don't want to comment on it too much, but we'll see what they come back with. We'll see what they come back with. We'll see what they say. Okay, anyway, that's it really. Unless there's anything else I'm missing, I think that's pretty much it. No bias, but you're not a big enough streamer. So, you know, I know what my, listen, I know my size, okay? It's not the size, it's how you use it. Am I right? No. I'm aware of the size of streamer I am. I'm not big-headed about it, okay? But despite only contributing you know, 0.1% of the clips on LSF. Who's got the document? Who's got the fucking document about it? Let me show you what I'm talking about. Someone did a whole ass document about hatred on LSF, and I was listed in there as one of the most negatively commented on streamers. Well, yeah, no, I think the moderators are doing a good job. Back then they were, at least. But these new moderators, I don't really know anything about them, so yeah. But yeah, obviously, you know, I'm not going in there because, you know, I want to fucking leak what's going on. I'm not looking to go in there and fucking start screenshotting everything and sharing it. And if I did, I'd probably get banned straight away. You know, I just want to have a bit of insight into what's going on there. That's all. No, no. Listen. If it is like a, you know, if there's a, I don't even know if there's a private channel or not. Maybe there's not, but you know, they could just say there's not a channel. Tough shit. Oh, by the way, actually, no, there's one more thing to show you. The guy that wrote the post responded to me on Discord, so I could go over that quickly. I could quickly go over that. I think he made some assumptions about what I thought about this. So, you know, obviously I don't really agree with some of this. Anyway, Because Twitter character limit is dog shit, they're going to chime in here and clear up some things. This is the guy that leaked this, okay? Clear up some things about the tweets replies I've seen regarding this stuff, and for credibility, that's my tweet. About the whole very open and transparent sarcasm, that channel description says not to leak anything since there could be discussion about personal sensitive info. So, obviously that, you know, I accept that. I accept that's true. There's likely to be some sensitive discussion in there, okay? But what I disagree with is this idea that that is absolute, okay? And I think it's being used to obfuscate the fact that obviously there's stuff that is in there that is not just like, you know, it's not just like, oh, we can't share anything because of the docs. Obviously there's lots of embarrassing messages in there too, you know? But they're using this idea of like, oh, but there could be sensitive info. Sure, I agree with that, and that probably is why the message is there. So, you know, I'll take a small L on that. But like, obviously, there's other things in there beyond just dox stuff, right? It's not just the doxing stuff that they're obviously concerned about. Clearly, they don't want this stuff getting out as well. While I can't speak on how those things are now, we set up those line of communication so streamers could feel safe and comfortable sharing sensitive info. Of course, everyone involved doesn't want anything leaked. I left LSF on May 7th, 2022. Can't speak on how things are now. But for a while up until leaving, we were very transparent that we had a line of communications with streamers. As the Apple's person explains in the tweet replies, there are many occasions where we encourage streamers to reach out and they can raise concerns with us, but that we have no obligation to do anything for them if their request is unreasonable or the content didn't break the rules. So this is true that, like, you know, the mods were pushing back at certain times. But like, I feel there's a bit of cope going on here where it's like, oh no, guys, actually, we knew about this. We made it clear that you could contact us. Yeah, maybe like in a DM, maybe like in a fucking Reddit mod mail, maybe in a Discord message. But I don't think up until these leaks, it was explicitly clear that what people meant by, you know, line of communication was there's a private Discord channel which you can use to interact backwards and forwards with mods. I've not seen that anywhere personally, okay? And again, you know, I'll ask you again, right? Because this, I could be totally wrong about this. I could be totally wrong about this, okay? Right? Did you know that when people were talking about these lines of communication, did you know 100% that it was a private Discord channel within the server that only VIPs could access? Like, I don't know, man. I've never heard of that before. I've not heard it discussed. I've heard people do the memes and the jokes about people fucking controlling LSF, but I had no fucking idea that there was this like private channel that existed.
Welcome to Chud Nation.
So yeah, if I'm wrong on that, I'm wrong on that, but I don't know, man. I think it's pretty clear to me. Where did you see only VIPs can get in? It's in the screenshot. You know, obviously it's a private channel, so you need to have a certain role, and the roles that streamers were given were VIP. Obviously, you can't see the rest of it. But yeah, look, the channel's called private. The channel's called private here. And the role that's required to access it is, yeah, look, you can see it there, VIP. And yeah, I don't know if this was like just the name given to streamers, but like I'm in the Discord now, which I think this was linked to originally, and the streamers are just called streamers in there. Look. Yeah, the streamers are just called streamers. Some of the LSF mods even went on stream to talk with Dr. K about what moderating LSF is like. I was on that stream, and one of the last things we said was encourage streamers to reach out so we can help them during serious issues. Moderating LSF will require you to be omnipresent and an absolute drama lord against your will. So having more info perspective to work with help us make more informed decisions. I mean, that's fine. I'm sure that's true. And also, like I say, the moderators were pushing back. Of course, some streamers attempted to abuse the system. Ms. QTC, is that QT Cinderella, NMP, Hassan, Pokermain, and probably a couple of others I can't think of. But there were several occasions where streamers reached out about serious doxing issues. Yeah, I'm sure that's true. So it wasn't purely because they would look bad. I never said that otherwise. Mostly everyone was always respectful and didn't demand things, but there were times when a few lashed out and treated us like puppets, which inevitably resulted of us ignoring requests at times. No one has a hate boner for these streamers more than me, but it seems there could be some misunderstanding, confirmation bias going on. So I think it's worth stepping back and looking at it more objectively. I mean, I don't think I've really said anything particularly wrong about this, but okay. Regarding the VIPs things, that was just a stupid name asked for streamers. There's nothing VIP about it other than to put them in some sidebar pedestal, I suppose, since it is a pub server. Some of them didn't even have a line of communication with us at all, or hardly even had a single convo with us ever. As I said in a reply, that server is no longer associated with the current LSF mod or streamer comms. Like, look, I think this person, I think where they're coming from is they're just concerned that I'm looking at this and thinking the moderators fucking suck, okay? I think the moderators generally are quite good in this, and my concern is with more so the streamers than the moderators. But I do think there's a bit of cope in some of these responses and a bit of naivety in, you know, and a bit of naivety in how they're kind of looking at this. But nonetheless, they did leak the DMs, so obviously they do have some sort of issue that they wanted to get out there. Oh, and since these screenshots are a year or two old, it's not streamers are unquestionably trying to use their influence. They tried. Very pedantic, but still a big difference since that line of communication could look much different now. I don't know, man. I think to me, I am very fucking skeptical that like it's gotten better and now all of a sudden, you know, they're actually doing it much less. Oh my God. Guys, you won't believe it. You won't believe it, guys. I got a response from the LSF Reddit mods. I got a response. Okay, so just to catch you up, I was looking at this earlier, and some fucking copers were saying that the Discord that you can join is like widely known about, streamers can access it and all this shit, right? Okay. So the server that the leaks were from are now not associated with it, okay? But I was told earlier when I asked about this, oh, okay, I'm a stream. So I said, is there a new version of the server that is officially associated with the subreddit? Because this is the old one where the leaks were from. Invite only, as far as I know, for streamers and mods. Okay. Oh, okay, I'm a streamer. Any idea where I can get it? Best to send them a mod mail. So I'm trying to access this new Discord where apparently streamers can communicate directly with moderators of LSF. Okay. So I sent a mail and I asked if I could get an invite. Okay. And I just received this response from the Reddit moderation team. Hi, you can communicate these issues via mod mail. Interesting. Very interesting. So, looks like the door isn't open for me. Despite the fact that I'm one of the, despite the fact that I'm one of the most hated people on LSF, I don't get access to this Discord server, okay? Despite the fact that apparently it's just about streamers being worried and streamers being able to voice their concerns with mods directly. No, you're not allowed in. You can message me on Reddit. By the way, okay, I can't remember the... How long did it take them to respond to this? So I sent the message 7 hours ago, and then I get a response 3 hours ago. So it took around 4 hours to reply to this message. Here's a question. If I have genuinely got a concern about something, being one of the most hated people on livestream fails, right? Is it really reasonable that there's a 4-hour turnaround time on that? What if it's urgent? I thought the point was these are urgent issues that you should be able to deal with. But no, not for me. One of the most hated people on livestream fails. I don't get access to that, okay? I've got to do it through fucking Reddit mod mail, and it's a 4-hour turnaround time for a response. Guys, if this isn't fucking at least some evidence of the fact that it's a big club and you ain't in it, like, I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, why am I not allowed in there? There is no good reason for me not to be in there. There is literally no good reason for me not to be in there, okay? It is purely off the basis that I'm bad news, okay? The kind of stuff I cover, the kind of stuff I talk about. You can send me a message here, peasant, okay? You do not get access. You do not get access to our little Discord where you get better access to the mod team. So funny, man. God, it's so funny, all the coping I've seen about this, man. It's so funny, all the coping I've seen. I'm not allowed in. No entrance for Chud Logic. No entrance. Why? For what reason? What good reason is there to refuse me entry to this if it is, as you say it is, which is a community where you can, directly communicate with the moderation team if you have serious concerns about something that's happening? It's so ridiculous, man. And, if you want to try and argue, oh, you're not clouted enough. Well, if I'm not clouted enough, why am I referenced in a fucking document someone made where they figured out that I'm one of the most hated people on LSF, i.e. I get, I'm one of the most negatively commented about people on there. So dumb, man. Anyway, there you go, guys. I feel like I'm just basically correct on all of this stuff about this little Discord channel. Yeah.